Okay, do you want to do the intro, Robert?
Hello, everybody. This is Webmaster's Post, and I'm Robert Stone. I'd like to introduce Rolly Ryan, who is quite a celebrity in the video SEO world, and he focuses on Hangouts. And along with Rolly, I have Anthony Hayes of Commando HQ, and a full-time internet marketer, and leads the field. So I'm very glad to get Rolly and Anthony together so that they can discuss their methods of monetization and using Hangouts and video to make a living for themselves. So, Anthony, why don't you begin?
Okay, really what we did the other day, we had Holly on, and basically what we did was we had a sort of informal kind of chat interview kind of thing. If you don't mind, I can follow the same format with you, is that okay?
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you hear Tony all right, Rolly? I'm getting an electronic...
Yeah, he sounds either a little garbled or sort of in and out on his microphone or something.
Right, okay. Let me think if I can do this because I've not had problems with these microphones before.
Sometimes if you slightly pull the... It's not... Do you have a USB or do you have the two electronic...
Yeah, I've got the two jacks.
The jack. Sometimes if you pull the jack out a tiny bit, that'll eliminate issues. I've found. Just a fraction of a centimeter, even.
Yeah, I've done that, but I don't know if you can hear me when I do that. So anyway, as long as you can hear my questions, I guess that would be okay. Yeah. Rolly, can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Hangouts, what's your business model with using Hangouts, and a bit of background of what you're doing there? We spoke to Holly, and she basically was telling us that 3 different strategies that she uses quite often, and she was telling us about how she monetizes Hangouts and how many Hangouts she's producing, that kind of stuff. Would you mind to give us a little bit of information about what you're doing?
No, that's fine. I think I got the question out of that. Basically, I'm a bit more of a generalist internet marketer than Holly is, that's for sure. I dabble in pretty much all aspects of it just because from my background, I used to be in IT, and with that I was a generalist there too, and I always seem to think that it's better to understand all aspects of something even a little bit so that you know how to put it all together, and that's definitely helped me in the internet marketing world, understanding how videos work, backlinks work, social media, and how it sort of all works together. For the video side and the Hangout side, especially since that's a newer topic for a lot of people, I jumped on board as quickly as I could on trying to figure out what it was all about and if it was useful or anything like that. And definitely it is, both from a pure ranking perspective and a traffic and promotion side of thing. The few things that I do with Hangouts is the first main thing is sort of similar to what Holly has done. It's just using either live Hangouts or pre-recorded videos being pushed into a Hangout in order to help rank a video better than a normal YouTube video for local clients, lead generation, affiliate marketing, all the different types of things. Some of the other stuff I do that is a little different than her that I know of with Hangouts is I help local businesses promote themselves in a slightly different way for video, trying to capture the live aspect and sort of the spontaneous aspect of live Hangouts, doing things like doing a car dealership and having a live Hangout of people buying their car and how interested they are in the dealership and whatnot. So it's more of a reputation marketing type tool for that sense, plus a promotional tool that they can turn into a regular commercial video. I do a lot of lead generation with Hangouts, with finding industry leaders and whatnot, and doing an interview session on what the products and services are in that industry, and then repurpose the videos in different Hangouts for my own lead generation purposes, as sort of asking the expert in a generalized fashion. And then the last thing I've been doing more recently is doing bulk and batch Hangouts, similar to what Holly does, to sort of blanket Google, Bing, Yahoo, YouTube for various keywords in especially the local lead generation market, since the lead generation keywords are much less competitive than making money online or anything like that. So you can, with 10, 20, 30 videos, you can pretty much take over an entire niche for an entire city fairly easily by just simple internet marketing techniques, plus the Hangout on Air, plus a little bit of lead generation, web page building, and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what I'm doing currently with it all. I'm trying to find always more aspects to plugging Hangouts on Air into Facebook pages, onto other social media sites, and exploring new avenues on what I can do with local clients that I have to see if they're able to pass their expertise on so that people can understand their services and businesses a little bit better. So that's about it right about now.
Okay. And when you're so it's mainly for the local market that you're monetizing for yourself. Do you do anything with sort of affiliate marketing or?
I did do some affiliate marketing. Not nearly as much as I probably could do. I have affiliate websites and I do some affiliate video, but for me, most of my bread and butter is mostly lead generation, offline clients, and a little bit of, I do some CPA, but some of my affiliate stuff a little bit in the internet marketing niche and odd categories that I find that are easy to monetize, that I don't have to do too much work in. I find affiliate marketing sort of a bit of a bear every now and then because there's a lot of prep work that needs to go into each and every campaign compared to a lot of the lead gen stuff that I do.
Okay. And what is your sort of approach to finding clients and approaching clients to do this with Hangout?
I didn't quite get to that one. Did you get that one, Robert?
He was asking about your techniques of lead generation approaching clients.
Oh, it's kind of funny. I pretty much do almost absolutely no internet marketing for my lead generation. For getting clients, it's pretty much just either referrals or direct face-to-face networking. I find that a lot of, in the internet marketing realm in general, a lot of people seem to want to take the easy push-button approach that makes it so they don't have to do anything and make a boatload of money, where in my opinion, you can make even a lot more money by adding a little bit more effort and substance to what you're doing. So I do a lot of meetups. I just do a lot of face-to-face meetings, just genuinely explaining what I can and can't do for a client, understanding their needs, and trying to propose them a strategy that will work specifically for them. So, and that's one of the things that I do quite well, that I think of, because I know from a generalist point of view how social media, video, YouTube, Google, and different avenues, Craigslist, all that type of stuff, can help specific clients or can hurt specific clients or are better bang for their buck type thing. Similar to your Commando HQ, it's not necessarily one simple tool. It can be used as a tool across lead generation, across ranking videos for affiliate marketing, across getting views for videos, getting social signals, and some of your new software. It's sort of that type of thing. What's the best thing, and what's the best approach, and what's the best tool specifically for a certain client, compared to only selling them the one thing that you know. So like only trying to sell them on video marketing, even though a nice little social media or a pay-per-view or a AdWords campaign would get them much better ROI.
Yeah, yeah. When you're doing the Hangouts, what is your, do you have a specific way to do them? You mentioned you do them in bulk, but you also mentioned that you might do something for reputation management type thing. Can you explain a little bit about your approach to actually creating the Hangouts? Do you use scripts or anything like that?
Yeah, I got two different styles for the reputation management style. The first one is just basically an off the cuff style, just to interview either a client or someone in the business or in their business, as just an explainer of what their business is from a genuine and humble approach. Nothing really scripted, just to show that the person behind the counter or the person behind the business card is actually a human being, and they joke like everybody else. They don't want to cheat you out of your money or anything like that. And that one's just the simple 5-10 minute at the very most simple back and forth retort type thing on what their business is about. And then the second type is a more of a frequently asked questions scripted style, where it's a much longer, 20 minutes to 60 minutes of back and forth scripted questions where the client already knows what I'm going to ask, so we can go over how they're going to respond. In general, I don't try to tell them how they should respond in subject matter, but just the types of responses they can give. And what I do from there is I then take that 20 to 60 minute video of the Hangout in the frequently asked questions model and chop it up into so that the first few minutes is sort of an intro into their business. It's a scripted intro. The bulk of it can be chopped up into different question segments. It can be used as an entire video, and then the outro, the last 1 to 2 minutes of them explaining a little bit of a call to action on what their business can do for someone. It basically turns a 20 to 60 minute Hangout on air that's live into 5 to a dozen individual separate videos that they can use for a multitude of different purposes, for being a pay-per-view video on a YouTube campaign, being a quick little intro video to get more information on a Facebook campaign type thing. So I definitely try to make it so that it's not just here's your Hangout on air, let's see what we can do with it. It's more like, okay, let's do this Hangout on air so we have 5 or 6 methods to utilize it after it's been produced live to YouTube.
Yeah, that makes sense. And when you're doing this bulk Hangout approach of, I think you do something very similar to what Holly is doing. How many sort of Hangouts would you do if you were doing sort of bulk approach? What period of time?
I didn't quite get all of that. Robert, did you get that?
He's asking about your approach to producing bulk Hangouts, as Holly does.
Yeah, Holly definitely does. Definitely does it in a bulk approach. I try to do it in a bit of a segmented bulk approach. So I like to take maybe between 10 to 25 videos at a time. So say it was a medical or a law niche or something like that, where you're providing lead generation or client services to someone. Take about 10 to 25 videos that blanket the full spectrum of keywords in a generalized fashion. Fire them all out to Hangout on air over the course of 2 or 3 days. Fire the backlinks at them, and in a way see which types of videos, because out of the 10 to 25 videos, 5 or 6 would be a talking head, 5 or 6 would be just static images, and then it would sort of be broken up into 4 or 5 different categories of types of videos to see across the generalized terms which types of videos start converting the best. And then after 2 to 3 weeks has passed, most of them are ranking quite well, and you start to see what type of videos are getting more views, things like that. Then I'd start putting out another 10 to 25 videos for the next month or so of that type of video specifically, and drill down specifically into different keywords that are converting better with the videos that are converting better. So then I have a bit more of a blanket approach of a drilled down fashion, so I can target exactly 10 videos that I know are going to convert the best, that I know that most of the people are searching for that type of keyword, and let the other videos just float in space for a while to see if they come up later or not. So
yeah, makes a lot of sense. You can always redirect links to the other one that's converting as well, I guess.
Yeah, and like with the way I know you've mentioned in the past on some of your stuff is, creating link wheels and silo channels and stuff like that. I definitely do similar things to that. I have a few. I usually try to create a few channels during this whole process so that just in case one gets nuked by a competitor or whatnot, or gets noticed, or gets dinged by YouTube, so that you don't want to put all your videos in one basket. And also with the fact that you can help the rankings of the better ones with the rankings of the worst ones as you go. So, and then I usually I take the top performers and the bottom performers, and I syndicate them across Dailymotion, Metacafe, and all that. And I do that because I want the best ones found, and I want the worst ones to be, in a way, to be noticed just as generic content on the internet. And on the Metacafe Dailymotion ones, I put links back to the best ones on YouTube. So it just creates more generalized traffic to, like, it's more traffic and promotion at that point, rather than backlinks to the better videos.
Okay, and you mentioned something interesting there that we were talking about when we were sort of putting together some ideas for my Hangout SEO suite, and that is that you're driving backlinks to the Hangouts that you've scheduled ahead of time. What sort of backlinking are you doing at that point?
So yeah, I usually like to schedule my Hangouts anywhere between 24 hours to 40 hours ahead of the time when I'm going to either do the live Hangout or the pre-recorded video. I don't usually like to do it too far in advance unless it's a specific event for a client, because there's no use going too far ahead, since there's no real humans looking at it if you're just looking directly for ranking. If you're looking to promote it and get traffic, yeah, 6 to 7 days is definitely a perfect amount for that. But if you're going to do just pure rankings, then 1 to 2 days, and in that 1 to 2 days, I like to do a little bit of social promotion, specifically with Google+. I've noticed a lot of the videos just seem to start off directly on page 2 type thing. If you do a fair bit of Google+ posting, sharing, and plus wanting, I use a lot of their internal tools to share it and to see who's shared it from there, to see if anybody's actually picking it up. The more people that pick it up organically, definitely the fact that it'll drop directly onto page 2, which makes the overall process just that much easier. You don't have to wade all the way up through the pages. And then from just a strict backlinking perspective of regular old backlinks, I usually just start with a blanket approach of all the keywords that I'm looking at ranking for, plus just between all the keywords that I'm ranking for and a secondary split of generic branding keywords around that. And I even actually use branded keywords from competitors, websites, videos, and stuff like that. It just seems to, I just seem to find that it just pushes it up that much quicker. So I've been able to get top page rankings on the middle of page 1 in 2 to 3 weeks for keywords local keywords that can search anywhere between 500 to 2,500 times a month. And you just have to put out, and you don't have to do a lot. I've done it where put out 50 to 60 decent quality to high quality backlinks from a variety of sources, blog posts, regular articles, a little bit of press releases, but I don't find they help that much. Doing regular social syndication for backlinks. And like I said, you don't need that much right off the bat, especially if you do it a few days before. And not only do you want to put links to the YouTube embedded URL, like the regular YouTube URL, I like to put links to the event page and to the specific post on the Google Plus profile on whatever Google Plus account that I have. That seems to just garner more trusted value in Google and YouTube's eyes for whatever reason. Well, the reason is just I can surmise that the reason is that they just put that much more value on a live Hangout, because why would you come out and put spammy information in front of everybody live to the world? So they just put more value in it. And if you build backlinks to the event page and the profile, it just makes it look like you're providing more value to not just the video, but to the overall Google Plus, Google platform as a whole. And it seems to be exactly what they want right now.
Yeah, really, before we go any further, some people listening to that are wondering maybe what the difference is between the YouTube video and the page. Could you explain that briefly? Please?
So you want to know the difference between a YouTube video and a Hangout, or was that it,
Uh,
Robert?
yeah, no, you mentioned you sent things to the actual YouTube video URL for where the Hangout will be and the event page. A lot of people wondering what the difference is. I wonder if you can explain that for them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the difference between the video and the event page. So when you're doing a Hangout, they give you the embedded URL for the embedded YouTube video, so you can put it on whatever page you want. Then they also give you the direct URL of where it will be on YouTube, and that's where the final location is once it gets rendered, where the YouTube video will end up. But also, when people are looking at the event, and the same page is where it shows who's invited, who said yes, who said no. That's the specific event page, and that's live once you create the Hangout and put it out to the world for public or private consumption. There's actually a specific URL to that, and there's a specific URL that you can grab from the Google Plus post that event is being shared on your profile. So basically you have three URLs you can use. You can use that YouTube URL. When you have that event page, you can grab the URL from the top of there, which is a coded long tail URL. And when you go to the post, it's pretty much the exact same as that, but with their post code in the URL. And all those the post and the event page will drive links back to the YouTube video itself. So it's sort of like a regular link pyramid in that case, that you're driving links to the two sub pages that drive links to the YouTube page.
Yeah, you mentioned something else the other day that when you get some notes for the Hangouts, you mentioned something about searching YouTube for hashtags, competitors and doing similar kind of content. Would you mind to talk about that for a couple of minutes so people can understand the benefits of that, how it's done?
I did not get that one at all, Robert.
I didn't get that at all either.
You mentioned that you mentioned that you search Google Plus hashtags.
Oh, the hashtags, I think you meant?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so Google Plus, no different than Twitter and some other social platforms, have hashtags that allow you to quickly search within their system to find relevant data, relevant topics, relevant information. One of the things that some people don't realize is that when you put hashtags in the description of your Google Plus, anything related to Google Plus, and so into the description of your Hangout when you're gonna put it live or just schedule it, that those hashtags go into the system right at that exact point. So if you were doing something in the plumbing niche in Denver, you could easily put hashtags for Denver, hashtags for plumbers, hashtags for plumbing, hashtag for plumber in Denver. You're like sometimes your exact keyword. And what it does is it just allows it to be syndicated through all the different feeds when people are looking for similar or related terms. And as Google sees more times that your video or your event page or your post is coming up, it gives more credit to more people who are searching for that type of relevant content. And as a backwards piece to that people also don't realize is when you have your videos, so any YouTube video right now, you can basically go back into it, edit the description, and anywhere in the description you can add hashtags, and that will flow right back to the Google Plus page that video and channel is associated with. So you're basically adding extra syndication and extra relevant content to it for people to search for. So in two respects, you can give it the exact keywords that you want to rank for, which Google then associates, and Google Plus associates that video with that hashtag, no different than a Twitter tag that ranks for different things. And you can get relevant content and relevant searches if you're doing a traffic and promotion. So like if you're doing a client information for a physiotherapist in a city, you can do some quick searches for physiotherapy communities and whatnot, and find out what the hashtags all the people are doing, like the majority of the hashtags are in those communities that people are using. Use it in your video, and that pretty much connects you in relevancy to those different communities, and it connects you in relevancy for people searching for that type of stuff, because you can easily find out that a lot of people searching for certain hashtags, then you'll show up in the same search strings, so you'll get more traffic and promotion.
That's very interesting, because you said putting hashtags, I gather you meant by putting it into the description. Do you also put it into tags as well?
I don't usually put it in the tags. My tags, I do it a little differently. I use tags specifically to only rank in YouTube and a little bit in Bing, because they're the only ones that even admit to using any type of meta tag anymore. But I've for the majority of the tags that I use, any Hangout on Air, I leave the 3 Hangout on Air tags specifically in there. I know Holly takes them out, but I leave them in there for my own silly personal reasons. I think that Google just looks at them a little differently if you have the tags as Hangout on Air. And then secondly, the keywords that I specifically want to rank for traffic and views within the YouTube system are the ones that I put in the tag system, and usually they differ quite dramatically from the tags if I want to rank a video in Google, because what people, just the inherent nature of, and human nature of the way people search in Google is a completely different way they use keywords in YouTube. So putting longer tail keywords into YouTube, like really long tail, doesn't always work. You sort of want to do 2 and 3 keyword versions of how people would search for a type of service or a type of product, or with some modifier keywords on the end, which definitely is not how people search for it in the Google world of things. So that's basically how I end up using the tag side of things.
Yeah. And you know, we used to do it, and still do it from time to time, and see it quite often when people do almost keyword stuffing at the bottom of their description, where they just bring down all the variations of a different keyword phrase, and that would be a good way around it, just by putting those hashtags in there instead of just plain old keywords or keyword phrase. I guess that's a good way to approach it.
Yeah, I've been toying with doing it differently. The one thing with the hashtags is it's no different than Twitter. You gotta all run them in together. So if you were going to do plumber in Denver, you couldn't have any spaces. So Google and YouTube look at that a little differently in the contextual wordage type thing. Sometimes they don't seem to be able to split the words apart in regular parsing of the content. So I have so anything that's a 2-word keyword or a 1-word keyword, I definitely put as a hashtag, and anything that's 2, 3, or more, I definitely try to keep it as split words with separation of space, just because I've found that's the best way. That's the sort of best in-between approach between using the hashtags and the keyword stuffing type idea. And I've also started trying to put hashtags directly within the description, so as if you were reading out the description in a paragraph form and got to a keyword that you wanted to make as a hashtag somewhere in the description, I'd make it a hashtag right there. And that seems to be holding a little bit more weight. I haven't been able to truly figure out if it does or not, but I think it might be one of those things where Google sees a hashtag within the context of our other content. They might put a little bit more relevancy to that.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a very, very interesting approach. And when you've got your Hangouts recorded, what is your process for optimization from that point forward?
It's pretty standard. It's not too far off from a regular video. Well, most times I depending on the type of promotion or type of use for it, sometimes I take out the Hangout on Air in the beginning and the end, just so sometimes it looks like a regular video. Other times I'll keep it in because I want people to realize that it was a live event. From then that perspective, it's optimizing the title just like normal, optimizing the content with 300 to 700 words of content, or 300 to 500 words of content, as much as I could fit in there. I almost always hit the mark where I have to remove something from it because it says I have too much in the description or too much in the tags. And I try to get as much relevant alternative content in the description as possible. Not necessarily as much keyword stuffing, but more trying to explain the same topic or same keyword or same idea in a variety of different fashions, so I can rank for more than just the single keyword that the video is about. I make sure that there's at least one alternate transcription version in a different language. I have a very good translator program that does English to French or English to Spanish, which is two of the easiest ones to translate. And I definitely put a secondary translation in there. It helps with just overall views and traffic. And then I make sure that I have an intro annotation and a closing annotation at the very minimum. And if it's anything more than a 2-minute video, I make sure I have another annotation somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah. You do a lot of embeds as well, using Web 2.0.
Yeah, definitely. I found that certain properties definitely garner more interest. Like, of course, Blogspot, Blogger type thing garners a little bit more interest if you have a high-quality page to embed the video on. I have a fairly extensive, similar to Holly, a fairly extensive Web 2.0 personal network that I use. I've built it out. I actually, just like people do with expired domains, I go out and scrape a variety of different Web 2.0 sites to allow the re-registration of domains, subdomains within their system, like Tumblr does. You can go out and scrape Tumblr domains that have been lost or removed. The person's been removed because of bad content or whatnot, and you can re-register the domain, the subdomain, as the user, and get all the domain authority and page authority that they had before that. So with a little bit of effort, you can actually pick up some pretty high PR and page authority to Tumblr and various other Web 2.0s that you can immediately start putting generalized blog post odds with a video embed in it, and it extremely increases the speed of the process to rank videos for, especially if people are going to do launch jacking. That's probably one of the best ways that I found out to do launch jacking, is to find some, to scrape for some high quality Tumblr blogs and other various blogs, to then pick up 5 or 6 of them, drop the video on, and you're almost immediately on the bottom of page 1 without doing any backlinking other than on that page. One backlink on the page and one video embed, and it's at the top of Google and at the top of YouTube in no time.
Are you willing to offer how this scraping is done, Rolly?
It's actually no different than scraping for any type of website on the internet. I just drop a footprint into Scrapebox with a variety of keywords. Let Scrapebox do its thing. Find me a whole whack of Tumblr, we'll say Tumblr blogs, 500, 600, or sometimes, depending on the lucky day, I get a few thousand Tumblr blogs. Run it through the Alive checker to see if it's alive or not. All the ones that don't show up as live, basically you just open up a browser, see if it's there. Sometimes it's a false positive, but more than not, Tumblr is saying that specific page doesn't exist, and it does a 404 redirect to its error, Tumblr error page. You go see if you can log into Tumblr and register the subdomain that you found, and if it is, you're good to go. You register it as a new Tumblr blog, and it's now yours. So
that's brilliant.
Yeah, there's not much to it, and you can, there's more and more Web 2, the smaller named Web 2.0 sites that are popping up daily that are doing it that way because they want to make sure that they'll always be that type of company that people can come back to and register whatever subdomain they want. So they always want to keep them fresh, and if somebody drops, they want to put it back into their pool of available subdomains. So some of the older ones, like MySpace and whatnot, stopped doing that because people were abusing it. But there's still a good handful that you can find decent Web 2.0s that you can pick up. And a lot of people are into the private blog networks. Well, you can spend $12 to $1,200 in a private blog network site, and you have to hide the registration, you have to hide this, you have to hide that. Well, just registering a Tumblr blog with a brand new Gmail account that you bought or made up, you're right there hidden, and it didn't cost you any money to do other than the cost of Scrapebox and a few hours worth of work.
That's quite a brilliant idea. Robert, you got any other questions you want to ask?
I think you've pretty much covered everything that I had, Tony.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to add, Rolly?
Well, I know a lot of people want to get into video and Hangouts and whatnot, and there's definitely the interesting idea of using pre-recorded videos for that. But there's just as much value, and it's just as easy to just sit in front of the camera, or just put a static picture up on your screen while you share the screen and talk and explain why a product or why a service or why an affiliate product is good or bad or whatnot, and just do the Hangout like that. Turns into a video, and you're ready to go from there. So I think a lot of people just, for whatever reason, think that it's this weird mystical thing that they have to get perfect, but you don't at all. You just got to have it out there and ranked and going, and you go from there. And it's a fun little learning process, because it's definitely something new that Google's put out, and it'll only grow, because live video streaming is one of the things that everybody wants to get onto, because it's a big market, and Google and Google Plus are definitely going to try to push forward with that right from the get-go, as you can see. So staying current with it and just getting in and using it is probably one of the best ways to start going and making money with it.
Yeah. We've been communicating quite a bit over the last few months about the dream software that we would both have if we had something that would save a lot of work for us, and we put a lot of thought into it and went into intricate detail, and we pretty much got it all written out and dissected, and Tony has decided he's going to build that software, and you've had quite a bit of input in that. What do you think about the new Hangout ranking system that we're going to be launching next week?
Oh, from what I've read and what I was on the last video that you guys did, that I was on, that you were explaining it and everything that you've mentioned to me, Robert, I don't know why I wouldn't get it, because it definitely sounds exactly, many of the parts sound exactly what I would need to make the process a little bit more streamlined, so that my 5,000 Excel spreadsheets and things like that could easily go away, because it would take care of a pile of things that I do on a mundane daily basis to get a lot of that Hangout stuff done. Plus, it easily would make someone jumping into the market for video marketing or Hangout marketing, take a giant leap forward on the fact that 3/4 of the stuff that I do currently manually to do all my stuff would be done in an instant, or just done with you being able to go and have a coffee and a tea and come back, and half of it would be done for you. So it definitely is something I want to look forward to checking out and seeing what it's going to be like. So.
Yeah, hopefully we will be ready by next week, but there's never a guarantee with things will work smoothly. One thing I did forget to ask about, Robert was mentioning that you're using a software tool called, is it VidBlaster?
VidBlaster, yeah, that's one of the tools I use. It's a web broadcasting tool to utilize video from various input sources and fire it to various output sources. It's no different than a video broadcasting switchboard, basically. So you can have multiple videos running and switch between the two, or have fade outs, or put lower thirds and all that type of stuff. Definitely uses a lot of resources, but it's one of the features that I found that makes it so that you can actually have HD quality videos become HD quality videos in the Hangout on Air system, because I've tried VLC, I've tried screen shares, I've tried a pile of other stuff, and definitely the video codecs and most of those stuff, when they get transferred into the Hangout on Air system, lose a lot of the frame rate or lose a lot of the resolution. So if you want to do a high quality commercial or a high quality live event, I even take a computer that can run VidBlaster, hook up the multiple cameras to it, and put it through the Hangout on Air system for that instead of directly using the camera within the system, just because I get a better control of things and I can be for sure that it's going to be a high quality resolution. There's actually another program that's much less expensive that I found, vMix, V-M-I-X, that very similar, a little newer on the scene compared to VidBlaster, does 85% of the job for much less cost. So if people are just getting into it for affiliate marketing, they don't need super high quality videos. They don't, but they still want quality enough that it's not fuzzy writing or anything like that. And they're doing sort of more fancy transitions with captions and stuff like that. vMix seems to be a little bit better approach for people. But from what I found, if someone wants to do high motion video and move it from a video to a Hangout on Air, or do a lot of intricate things with multiple cameras, vMix or VidBlaster is basically one of the ways to go. Another one that's big out there is Wirecast. That's a even larger, more industry built system, which has a cloud-based version and stuff like that, so you can grab IP cameras from around the world type thing and feed it into a server that feeds into your Wirecast that you can then push to a Hangout on Air. So, but I'm hoping, and I've read a few things from Google here and there, that they're going to have Hangout system where you can have multiple cameras from one location, so you can have one computer with two cameras going to a Hangout on Air from the same location. So down the road, they definitely want to increase the capabilities of the Hangout on Air live stream system, their live events, their YouTube streaming and stuff like that. So we'll just see which way it goes and try to ride the wave and make some money with it and do some cool things.
Yeah, that's nice. So the way you're doing the Hangouts, this is your full-time focus not just on Hangouts, is that correct?
I didn't get that one.
Hangouts is a full-time focus for you as far as video marketing stuff is concerned?
Hangouts, I would say, well, right now in my business, video marketing in general is about 20 to 30% of the business, and that's even included in some of the lead gen stuff. I do the video marketing, it fits about 30%, and out of that 30%, I'd probably say 70 to 75% are Hangouts driven stuff. Some of the stuff I still do directly just with videos and putting it through YouTube and other video platforms directly that way, just because I want to make sure that I'm not missing out on things on the regular video side and only focusing on the Hangout side type thing, plus some testing and whatnot. But definitely the majority of the stuff that I do, I try to push through a Hangout in some fashion nowadays, yeah.
Okay. I think probably we've covered quite a lot up to now. Would you consider coming back for a part 2 with an audience who might have some questions?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is what we'll call the as well. So we're going to put this video up, and we'll get some feedback from the people and let them put some questions on inside the fan page. We create a specific for these kind of interview type hangouts, and then we can come back to the part 2. And I'm sure people have some questions thought of, and that I'll think of later as well. And that would be a really good way that we could really run to up people who are benefit from the knowledge and experience that you've got there.
No, that sounds good.
Yeah, okay, that sounds very good to me. Robert, there was a little mention about press releases not effective. I saw you. I saw your face on that. Do you want to comment on about the press releases? Really was saying you don't find your press releases very effective for
I think it depends on which press releases you use. I use press release with high authority. It's been around for 12 or 14 years, something like that. A lot of people think that the places that the press releases are syndicated to are also press releases, and those are pretty cheap, and some people are selling systems in order to be able to access those places that the authority site syndicates to, and charging people a monthly fee for those normally free sites, and people use those, and they're not nearly as effective because they're not connected with an authority site. I use Newswire myself because I get instant rankings. I never fail to get page 1 for my keywords within minutes when I add a Hangout to a press release. There are other press release sites out there, PR Web for one, which is much more expensive. It'll be between $70 and $100 for one press release. I pay a subscription for Newswire, which makes them a lot cheaper, so I end up paying only about $25 for a press release, and it's well worth it because I get the first page. People spend hundreds or thousands of dollars trying to get the first page with a website, and I don't have to worry about that. I just do a press release, add a Hangout, images, hyperlinks to the images, and it causes a synergistic effect for me. I get the press release on page 1, the Hangout on page 1, the social sites that I bookmark, the press release are also on page 1. I did a press release a couple of weeks ago, and I took 8 positions on page 1 almost immediately.
Yeah.
One difference between a higher-end press release site is that you can include video and you can include images. These syndicated sites that people are paying a monthly fee with different softwares to submit to don't allow images or video. So it's the authority of the high-ranking, high-authority press release sites that rank the Hangout and the video, and the other syndicated sites do add backlinks, which help. So that's my experience.
Okay. All right. So I'm glad you got that little bit in there. Okay. I think we should just wrap this up just now. Really, thank you for your time. I'm sorry that my microphone isn't very clear today. I do appreciate you taking the time and being so free and sharing your ideas and experience. I look forward to doing part 2, and we can sort of maybe try and get that next week or the week after, whenever you've got some free time. But thank you for sharing so freely, and really, really do appreciate all the help you've given us for the Hangout ranking suite that we're putting together. And you know, I hope it's going to benefit a lot of people to listen to the interview, and also from your experience and input into the Hangout suite. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for having me. It was great.
Yes, thank you, Rolly, and I'll be in contact with you to schedule a second Hangout.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully I can have some video next time.
Right, okay. And hopefully we fix Tony's microphone by that time.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, good night, everybody. This is Robert Stone from Webmasters Post. We'll be back again probably in a few days. Good night.